Hey guys, welcome back. Carbon here with 51st Fighter Wing, 36th Fighter Squadron, and in today's video we're going to go over navigation a little bit with Tacan waypoints, and we're going to go and do an arc using DME or distance measuring equipment, which is essentially your Tacan and or steer points. So with that being said, let's get in the jet and we'll go ahead and get this started. Alright, so now we're back here in our cockpit of our F-16C at Kutaisi Airfield, and we are going to go ahead and take off. We're going to climb to 3,000 feet, 300 knots, and about 8 DME is what we'll use for our arc. So first what we're going to want to do is set our TACAN to 44 X-ray, and we will select transmit receive with dauber switch right. We'll go ahead and turn down our TACAN after I reset my track IR real quick. We'll turn that TACAN volume down. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is set our course heading. After we select TACAN on our EHSI, we can see that we have a distance of So let's go ahead, we'll take off. About 145 knots, we'll go ahead and rotate. And then gear up, positive rate of climb. So here we are, let's rotate. Positive rate, gear up, and continue on. So we'll go ahead and level out here. We'll go ahead and set our altitude hold for 3,000 feet. This will be one less thing we have to really worry about while maintaining distance in the arc. We're currently at 4.5 miles from our TACAN station, and we're just going to continue on a heading of 247, which is runway heading at 300 knots. Alright, here we are approaching 6.5. Let's go ahead and turn left. We'll go at a 45-degree roll angle to the left with altitude hold on. And it should put us in the vicinity, once we are perpendicular with this course line, of an 8 nautical mile DME. 8 miles. So we're going to overshoot just slightly, which is fine. We'll just adjust accordingly. So we are now perpendicular to our heading line, our course line, and we are now placing the TACAN to our left, and we want to maintain that normally 90 degrees off unless we're adjusting, which we are right now. So we're turning in a little much. We're at 8, and we're gonna overshoot probably just slightly where we want. So we're at 7.9. Be ever so slightly our TACAN off to our back left, and we're just going to maintain that position until we get up to 8 nautical miles. And there we are, 8 nautical miles. Now we're going to keep this tack-in locator right at our 90 degrees. We slipped down a little bit. We got a little close, so we're just going to adjust here. We also got a little bit fast, so we're going to slow down. And everything you need is also right where I'm looking. We have our indicated airspeed, we have our altimeter, we have our ADI, we have our AOA, BVI, all that good stuff. So we don't even need to really look out through the HUD for any of this. Kutaisi's over there. We are almost downwind, tack in direct, or the airfield almost to our left, 90 degrees. And we're just going to keep maintaining this 8 nautical miles. Currently we're about 11 degrees bank angle, which seems to be working for us. We have these hash marks here, 10, 20, 30, and then 45. That's where I got that 11 degrees from. We're just going to maintain while keeping that tack in directly to our 90 degrees. So as you can see, back into our left is the course heading for the runway. So we're about 45 degrees off of runway heading. You'll see our tack-in location is going to start meeting towards the arrow of the course line, and then our middle section is going to start dropping down. That means we're going to turn right on the course, as you'll see. Alright, here, like I said, the tack-in location is going to start matching up with our course line. At that moment, we're going to want to turn in, and right about here is when we're going to start pulling in. And we should be right about on course. And that'll set us up for approach and a landing or the overhead brake if we so choose. Got a little slow there, and as you can see, we are on course for a good approach. We are a little high though in this approach, so we extend a little further out for being 3,000 feet in the Viper. So now we're going to go ahead and set our tack-in to Kobuleti, which is 67 X-ray, enter. And we're going to start making our way over that way. We will climb up to 5,000 feet at about 350 knots indicated to cruise on over there. And we're essentially going to do the same thing, except it's going to be more of a rectangular pattern with an arc at the end. And we'll also use a waypoint with this. The waypoint ahead of us right now is just a 12 DME waypoint out of Kutaisi. That lets us know that we're 12 nautical miles away from the airfield, and generally we can resume our navigation from there. So right now we'll go ahead and make our way over, and we'll go ahead and get this fast forwarded so we can skip ahead. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and set our course line to 242, which will give us a better lineup on our approach and landing, as well as a good reciprocal for the downwind. So off over to our left here is Batumi Auxiliary Airfield, which is also steer point 2, which we will be selecting once we do our first 90-degree turn. We want to keep it on tack in on our EHSI for now so we can still continue to get that DME information. Again, we're going to cruise out probably about 10 nautical miles, maybe sooner, before we start turning out over so we can overfly Batumi. Just getting our altitude back situated and our airspeed, and then we're going to begin turning in probably a lot sooner than 10 nautical miles, considering we're feet wet and we're 6 nautical miles.
Altitude.
Alright, so we're going to do 9 DME, so we're going to turn in now at 7.5, 45-degree roll. We're watching our course line roll about on our EHSI, and we want to be perpendicular to this course line heading-wise. So at this point, let's go ahead and switch over to nav and steer point 2. And we are 6 miles out from steer point 2, and it's just up and to our left at about 10 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and turn in right now and try to get on course to overfly directly over steer point 2 at a reciprocal heading of the airfield of 062. We're heading. And we overshot just slightly. We'll just correct here. Adjust to 062, and we should be on course, as we are. And that's using a waypoint over a landmark to kind of line up your position in a downwind, or virtually whatever you need. As you can see, we are flying directly over it. Now we'll go ahead and switch back to Tacan here, back to Kobuleti, and we'll get our distance going forward from Kobuleti. And again, once we get to our DME, roughly about 10 nautical miles, we're going to arc from this point over to approach. And it's going to be really quick because we're not too far south of Kobuleti.
Altitude. Altitude.
We'll go ahead and slow down here to 300 knots. So we want to be 10 DME, so we're going to start our turn here at 8.5.
Altitude.
And then hopefully be able to intercept our 10 nautical miles. Again, this is going to be pretty quick because we don't have a lot of southern distance from Kobuleti. Here we are at 10. Overshoot just slightly. And we're not going to have enough time really to probably correct this, as our Tacan locator and our course deviation line are coming together. So we're just going to have to turn in right here, pretty sharp, and then we'll be on our approach for Kobuleti. And there's the airfield in sight. Now we'll go ahead and just set up for a landing, and we'll do a quick landing real quick. Descend altitude as we are pretty high. We want to be at 10 nautical miles, 2,500 feet above the airfield. And right now we're a little bit above that. So at 5 nautical miles, we want to be 1250, and this is all on a 2.5 degree glide path. Four miles out on final. Go ahead, drop our gear. We should be pretty close, as we are. Yeah, the 2.5 degree line is just above the threshold. So we'll bring that down. We'll bring our flight path marker up to meet it once it's at the threshold, and allow our bracket to naturally come up for our AOA. So we'll give it a little throttle now. We've got a little slow. We want our flight path marker just to rest right on top of the not E-bracket, but the staple. And we'll just ride it in on the 2.5 degree line. 250 feet. 200. 100. At 50, we're going to begin our flare. We don't really need to give it a little bit of throttle. We'll just ride the donut and touchdown, nice and gentle, and we'll ride a good AOA donut until 100 knots or less. Alright, here we are. We'll go ahead, touchdown, apply brake pressure, speed brakes full out, and we'll go ahead and aero brake by pulling the stick full aft. Well, if you stuck around this long, I hope this video did help you out in regards to DME navigating in an arc, a little bit of waypoint navigation in regards to DME, and using Tacan. That's mainly the goal of these videos, so if it did help, please like, subscribe. And again, this is kind of a primary, not really a primary, but a secondary aid for our training missions within the 36th Fighter Squadron. That being said, hope you all have a good day, and see you in the next video.